Hey everybody, this is Robin Graves, and this is The World According to Graves. You know, your favorite TV show or internet, whatever this is. Um, Hold on, Mike. The Ruins. Very good movie, good horror movie. A very good reason not to go on vacation in Mexico. Oh, golly, a little sippage here. Pepsi, come talk to me. We can make a deal, people. Trust me. The door's open. The door's open. Little sippage there. Let me get my notes here. Where did my notes go? Right here. Uh, as you guys know, I've been having some health issues past few weeks. My voice still isn't what it's supposed to be. Why is this even open? Get this taken care of. There we go. Last week we said, I said that we're going to do this one on the Antifa handbook. Um, I give that a lot of thought. I do have it here on the other computer here put up, but it's going to be really hard for me to prove what it says unless I put it up for you to read too. And I don't have the programming to do that right now. Like I said, I'm running this bare bones. No budget whatsoever. Um, so bear with me on this. We will be covering this today. But I do have something else that kind of bothered me uh, a little bit. Believe me, it was some things that happened. Um, these aren't even my notes. Oh my God. I think it's these here. Let's take a look. Here we go. Wow. I'm about as organized as they get today. Yeah, guys, I'm early. I'm early this week. Normally it's on Thursdays. I put these out. This is Tuesday. Yeah, I want to get this out before anything else happens, to me. As we know, over the weekend, our good friends Antifa kind of started some more shit in Portland, Oregon. Now I expect this in Portland, Oregon, since their political ideology is just left of Lenin. But Andy No, a reporter, a lot of you like him, a lot of you dislike him. I never heard about the guy till actually this morning. Uh, News travels slow for me the past few days. Like I said, I haven't been doing good. I've had a lot happening with me, a lot happening in my life anyway. It's just the medication I've been having to take has been pretty much making me loopy as all get out. So I've been keeping up with news till this morning. It's the best I've felt today in a couple of weeks. Uh, he was born and raised in Portland. His parents come across by boat from Vietnam in 1978. He was 2005. He went to UCLA on a scholarship. After college, no, NGO is his last name. Came out as gay. That doesn't bother me. Um, what you want to do in your bedroom is your own opinion, your own thing. I don't want people coming in my bedroom watching me. Just keep it to yourselves, folks. Now, Antifa beat the living dog crap out of this guy. Um, Among another, well, there was another guy too, an older guy that they busted open. The guy looked like someone coming out of a WWE hardcore match before it was over with. Antifa beat the living crap out of Andy No and threw a milkshake with quick drying cement in it all over him. Now, any of you who've worked with quick drying cement, this stuff will burn your skin. Antifa laughed about it and beat him to the point where he had a brain bleed. He was in the emergency room. He was not doing good. Um, Antifa beat the hell out of one of their own. All right, this just shows their hypocrisy. But something that Andy No wrote in The Stranger in 2018. This this is everything I believe in here. When it comes to the left and the right. Okay. The problems with the right and far right are well known and documented extensively in mainstream media. Excuse me. However, the opposite cannot be said. The opposite cannot be said. Living in Portland, I witness what happens when the excesses of the far left go unchallenged. It leads to people mobbing their neighbors and feeling righteous for doing it. I want accountability to happen on both sides. If the local media won't do it, I will. Yeah. Now, what's really bad about this is that, let me get a drink here, okay? Oh, excuse me, folks. Like I said, I'm still not doing too great. We're going to put you right there where you're handy to get to. Thank you. My desk is a clutter. The police have stood down during this whole matter. They stood down while Antifa was counter-protesting the Proud Boys in Portland, Oregon. Now, everyone's talking about, well, the Proud Boys are a bunch of racists. You got people of color in the Proud Boys. You have Hispanics in the Proud Boys. How were they racist? How the fuck are they racist? They're no more racist than Antifa is, and Antifa is your darlings over there on the left. But the really cool thing about this matter that really puzzles me is the Proud Boys were way up the road doing the little march, protesting something. Well, Antifa was way downtown talking about counter-protesting and attacking people. They were just attacking bystanders. They couldn't find any Proud Boys. Well, they didn't want to find any to get their soy boy asses handed to them. So they decided to attack innocent civilians. People who were just there. That's typical of Antifa. While the police were told to stand down. Hey, good work, folks. Now, I have a very good friend of mine who's a former New York City policeman. He dealt with a lot of juvenile and youth and gang activity in schools and things. He even told me at one point that when you have a DA that won't back you up on things, you just don't do your job. It's no use. The DA is going to let him go. It's wasted effort. Well, as we all know, Antifa is a darling of the left, and Portland, Oregon is pretty much, how am I going to put it? Insane as they get. They are so leftist. They have left the Democratic Party behind. And of course, the DA, who's probably one of these leftists, told the police to stand down when Antifa is doing anything. This is nothing new. It's happened before in Portland about Antifa harassing and stalking people, attacking people. At one point, they were actually out on the road redirecting traffic, telling people to drive down a different street, don't turn left, drive down this street. When the one girl from Antifa was asked by a driver why, her only excuse was I told you so. While a cop was standing on the street corner, watching it happen, doing nothing. It's gotten out of hand, folks. It really has. I mean, it seems, people like Andy Ngo, who, just a reporter, a gay Asian reporter, a double minority, who the Antifa is supposed to help out, supposed to be all for, gets his ass handed to him and sent to the emergency room by Antifa. Good going, Antifa. You proved to me, again, your hypocrisy. They're darlings of the left. The media won't say anything about them, won't report anything negative about them. There's all these people out here that are talking about how Antifa is just practicing their right to protest. I don't consider destruction of property and attacking people a protest. That, to me, and according to law here in the United States, is terrorism. That is open revolt, terrorism. Excuse me, need a drink. Oh, and on top of the health problems here, bronchitis and all the other, my allergies are kicking up today. Yeah. But so far, all I've heard were excuses. People saying, yeah, they did it to Andy, no, but Andy said such and such at one time. People, you know what? This whole deciding that if you yeah, you hate Nazis. I understand. I hate Nazis too. Okay. But going out and pointing a finger at somebody saying he's a Nazi or a Nazi sympathizer or a white supremacist sympathizer is stupid. Once you say, well, he might have done some good, but once he said so and so. The minute you say but, you just erased every bit of good the guy ever did. All right, you want to concentrate on the one thing that he said that was wrong, but get rid of everything else? What's more important? One mistake or all the good somebody does? Oh, you're going to concentrate on the mistake. Let's go and put everybody in the same box, because you can't call them a Nazi. They're not a Nazi. You can't call them a Nazi. You can't put them in the Nazi box, but you're going to shove them in there anyway because according to your weird twisted sense of principles, they're a Nazi sympathizer. Yeah. What made you a fucking expert on Nazism and white supremacism? Or whatever that word is. Who cares? White supremacist. To me, it's a made-up word that's some term somebody made up for an excuse. And Antifa makes a lot of excuses. And they have too many politicians. I'm going to read you something straight out of the Antifa handbook. Hold on one second. Let me get this here where I can read it. This is straight out of the Antifa handbook. As people of color, LGBTQ, little people, the disabled, Muslims, and other minority classes slowly become the majority, we will naturally vote pro-Antifa politicians into office. It is, after all, only in our best interest. Hold on. After healthcare, the next target for socialization will obviously be the media. What's happening, folks? What's happening? Yeah, the media will not say anything bad about Antifa. They won't talk about anybody bad on the left. Period. No matter what they do. They could set the world on fire. And the media will protect them. As one of the government's only tools against big corporations, antitrust, anti-monopoly laws, to split the media into worker-owned Antifa-controlled entities. Currently, only the rich and upper middle classes get to enjoy the benefits of Wall Street and all of it has to offer. If the workers owned and controlled their own businesses, everyone could win except for the big fat cat CEOs who would be out of a job. Got the news for you, pal. For all you people in Antifa, I run the help run the American Reptile Association, and I raise and breed exotic reptiles. Guess what? I'm a corporation. Okay? I'm a corporation, and I'm broker than you. So don't tell me the only corporates that make all the money in the world. Okay? I'm licensed as a corporation for tax purposes, and I'm still taxed to friggin' death. So, anyway, let me get on to another one here, which is very interesting. They want to get to the next crucial step here. That's really interesting. It's called Believe the Way We Do or You Will Be Fired. This is something that Antifa wants. The next crucial step is to threaten the livelihoods of everyone who dares speak out against our agenda. They are, after all, fanatics who are clearly racist, homophobic, and misogynistic. You can't run a company with someone like that in your midst. Once we achieve this, and we'll almost be able to taste our victory, yet we have so much further to go to achieve our ends. They're wanting to get to the point where if you disagree with them, you're fired. You're fired from your job. Completely. Let me find another one here. This is really interesting. Jeez. Here we go. This is good. This is right where the left is right now. To create a culture of tolerance, we must first eliminate all forms of hate speech. Every idea critical to our movement or our way of thinking must be condemned as racist, homophobic, misogynistic, etc. Facebook! We have the facts and history on our side. When all else fails, compare someone to Hitler. Every once in a while, one of our minority group friends will become disillusioned and speak out as a conservative, aka fascist. Belittle them as delusional. They speak against their own self-interest. Sound familiar, folks? Does that sound familiar? It really does. See, let me get to the next to another part here. Told you we're going to get into the Antifa handbook. We're getting into it now. Most liberals are not Antifa yet, but soon they will be. Refugee crises such as those created by the situation in Syria are the ideal way to get more people of color into America. They need our help. There are pictures of dead babies who have washed ashore on beaches. Use legend imagery such as this to get support for expanding Antifa. Minority population is in the Antifa. Hold on, this is a little weird. Use imagery like this to get support for expanding minority population in the United States. Never call any immigrant illegal. Obviously, they are undocumented. Yeah, okay. So you see what's going on here. Control the media. Now this is what's really heavy here. This is even affecting YouTube right now. Okay, and I'm afraid that I'm going to end up having to leave YouTube, go to BitChute or something before all of this is over with. All because I'm outspoken. It is important to gain control of the media through any means necessary. In these early stages of the movement, it's important not to alienate any cis white males who are on our side. Use white shame and white guilt to kowtow men in positions of power into following our ideals. Some major media conglomerates are swinging to our side, but they have not gone far enough. Okay, how does that sound to you guys? What does that sound really familiar to? Let me get here to this one. This is what's really interesting. Oh my gosh. This is on page 1. This is the first page of the Antifa handbook. If you're reading this, it's because someone close to our movement trusted you with it. Please do not distribute to anyone who may attempt to harm or degenerate what we are doing. This is anti-fascist or Antifa manual. If you are reading this, you already know we are a social justice movement against hatred, intolerance, and bigotry. This manual outlines where we've been, where we're at, and where we're headed within the next 100 years. But first, to understand how we got here, we have to understand white privilege. For hundreds of, if not thousands of years, the cis white male power structure controlled the media and disbursement of information. First came the printing press, controlled by white males. Then came mass media such as newspapers and television, controlled by white males. But the next evolution of media was born in a time when the cis white male power structure began to lose its firm grip on the dissemination of ideas. Some of our kind, good term, have begun to infiltrate high-level positions of power in major media organizations. So, guys, Antifa isn't just a bunch of little people, little kids running around. Antifa is an ideology. This is turning into a culture war. They've been firing the first, second, and third shots. Now we know why the media has nothing to do with making Antifa look bad. It's because the Antifa sympathizers. They believe in what Antifa's doing. And what Antifa is doing with their little communist, sickle and hammer flag is pretty much the opposite of what Antifa did in World War II. In World War II, Antifa, they were the allies. They were the ones who fought against the Nazis. They're the ones who fought against fascism. Yes, they were nothing like what Antifa is today. Today, we have a bunch of kids, losers, fat feminist girls who can't get laid and are bitter about it, and little soy boys with daddy issues, deciding to go and do cosplay and act like they're ninjas or something, and pretend they're in World War II and everybody else are Nazis. See, the thing is, their idea of Nazi, we all hate Nazis. Okay, I'm not a big Nazi fan either. I'm not a big fan of the alt-right. I'm not a big fan of the far left. I'm pretty much, I've been called a libertarian. I like to call myself the guy who just doesn't give a shit about parties. I don't care about parties. The far left has pretty much become the mainstream for the Democrat Party. They're the ones who have the voice. They're the ones who get what they want. If you guys have watched the debates, I didn't get to watch all of it. I was going to do a live broadcast while Trump was tweeting, I was going to do a live broadcast here on YouTube. I didn't get a chance to, folks. I apologize for that. Um, Kevin, you gave me the idea. You were pushing for it. I'm sorry I didn't do it. I have not been doing well. Trust me. If you guys see who was on the debates, all the snap cases, Jesus Christ, that's where the left is turning. And those who aren't going that far left, they're walking away. The left is eating itself. And now they have Antifa out here, pointing fingers at everybody for being Nazis. This is stupid. They're hypocrites. They're going out, let's go and protest the alt-right, but way down here, where they can't kick our soy boy asses. And people keep saying, well, you shouldn't antagonize Antifa. Why not? Why shouldn't I? What are they going to do? Piss me off? There's a lot of people out there that don't like Antifa. Antifa right now is being used by the left to cause the end game. This is my theory here. And just listen, hear me out. Antifa goes for his first shot. People on the right fire the second shot and shoot the guy from Antifa in self-defense. What happens? Martial law. The left decides, they're going to throw a screaming fit. They're going to attempt gun confiscation. And next thing you know, we got martial law happening. The left wins. Because everybody feels sorry for Antifa because, well, one of the kids got shot. They were just little kids. This is what's going to happen. One day, soon, somebody is going to fire back. Somebody's going to beat the shit out of somebody from Antifa. Somebody's going to kill an Antifa member. Trust me on this. Antifa wants to talk about how they're going to come by, they're going to do this to us, they're going to do that to us. I'm not afraid of a drive-by slapping, okay? So, guys, look, I'm going to cut it off here. I did what I promised. I'm going to try to be back next week. I am doing better. Like anybody really cares. I am doing better. I'm going to make this a little more regular. I just want to get this out today before anything else happened. So, get this turned off here. I'm wasting my battery on my computer here. The other computer. Let's see, power off. Yes, I do love Chromebooks. They're so much easier to use. Let me get this closed and my microphone done. Yes, sound probably changed. We've all seen through the KKK, who were Democrat, Nazis who were socialists, National Socialists. Let me be more specific. I've gotten arguments about that. We're seeing what Antifa's doing. Yeah, guys, the left is not very pleasant. They're not being very peaceful. They're the ones who are calling for tolerance. They claim to be more tolerant, but say something that they don't believe in. Say something against them. Say one thing that you agree with that they don't, and you're going to see how intolerant they are. They want to talk about how we're intolerant. We're doing this. We're doing that. We're doing the other. We're not the ones throwing milkshakes with quick-drying cement in them at people. We're not the ones going and attacking random individuals just because we can. They want to say we're Nazis. We're not the ones attacking people. We're not the ones, wanting to drag people out of their homes and do horrible things to them. Violence should never be an answer. Never. But it's getting to the point now where I'm afraid it's going to happen. And I don't want to see it happen. Everybody talks about me because of my past, how I'm violent. No, I'm not. If I was violent, I wouldn't be here on YouTube. You want to fight somebody's ideology, they have an idea you don't like, you don't go out and beat the shit out of them. You fight their idea with another idea. And that's what I'm trying to do here. So don't call me violent. I've got emails threatening my life. I've got emails threatening violence, talking about how I'm a terrible person. Well, that's your opinion. My opinion of you is even worse. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to have to call this one. I wanted to bring this to you today. And you guys take care of yourselves, be good to one another, and be sure to think for yourselves. I'm Robin Graves, and this has been The World According to Graves. Leave a like and subscribe, please. Just let me leave a comment or three. I'll talk to you guys later. Take care of yourselves. So long.